In vacuum degassing, there are different types: static bath treatment, induction degassing, stream droplet degassing, fractional degassing. Like this, 4 important types of vacuum degassing takes place. In case of flushing, there is no vacuum because this surface is open to atmosphere. The upper portion, you can see, this is open to atmosphere. There is, and here just above this, just above the liquid metal, you can see the gas or atmospheric air present. But in case of vacuum degassing, what is happening? You can see vacuum degassing here. The complete vacuum is present. It is completely taking place. The degassing process is taking place completely within the vacuum chamber. Therefore, it is called as vacuum degassing. Vacuum degassing means no presence of atmospheric air. Atmospheric air is completely removed. So therefore, it is called as vacuum degassing. So this is a special technique. Here different types of the vacuum degassing techniques are there. Let us study one by one all those things. Okay. So now one simple example you can see, that is one important type of degassing technique, vacuum degassing technique, is static bath degassing. What is the meaning of static bath? The name itself says. Already here you can see the names, 4 important types. Static bath. Static, nothing but it is static, no motion, no movement. Okay. Induction, it means that something is induced. What is induced? The force is induced, current is induced. So that induction degassing. Stream droplet degassing. Degassing is done during the by stream dropleting. So making into drop by drop. So then stream droplet degassing. Fractional degassing, it means that fraction by fraction degassing. So like that, by understanding the name of the process, you can, in a brief way, in a short way, we can understand what is that process is. So now one by one we will be studying vacuum degassing. First we will try to understand what is static bath degassing. Okay, vacuum degassing. Now you can see the arrangement of the degassing technique or degassing process. See here, there is a vacuum chamber. This diagram you can see there is a vacuum chamber. This is the chamber, and this is the lower portion of the chamber. This is the upper portion of the chamber. This is called vacuum chamber. Why it is called vacuum chamber means no presence of atmospheric air. It is not open to atmosphere. This chamber is completely evacuated. It means that the atmospheric air components are completely removed. How it is removed means by means of connecting a vacuum pump. There is a pump, just like the vacuum cleaner you might have seen, you might have used at home, vacuum cleaner. So how it sucks the air, all the dust particle will be sucked into the machine or sucked by the machine. So that is the vacuum. So like that here also, whatever the air which was present here, whatever the air which was present here, whatever the air which was present in this chamber will be sucked out, and then a vacuum is maintained within the chamber. Inside that vacuum chamber, the liquid metal is placed. Liquid metal is placed within that. Then addition hopper, you can see addition hopper. What is this addition hopper? Means liquid metal can be fed into this. Liquid metal can be fed into the chamber. This is the chamber, or this is the crucible. Into this crucible, from external source, a furnace is kept outside. From that furnace, liquid metal can be supplied continuously or whenever it is required. So Hope you have understood this. This is the vacuum chamber. Okay, completely within inside atmosphere is maintained. Complete 100% vacuum is maintained, and this is the crucible which is placed inside the vacuum chamber, and the liquid metal is collected in the crucible, and it is liquid metal is fed through addition copper. So through this liquid metal is added. Now what is happening? An argon gas, or already we have discussed inert gases. Inert gas is supplied from the bottom of this. In the flushing, you have seen that from top the gas is supplied. Here there is a provision made to supply the argon gas to the bottom of the liquid metal, so that here also same thing happening. The process remains same as that of flushing. Here also, as the argon gas is supplied into it to the bottom of the liquid metal, again it produces the bubbles, so that all the bubbles will reach the surface, so that it will dissolve, it will release the dissolved gases within the liquid metal, so that dissolved gases, when it is forming, so this vacuum pump, it is drawing out or it is sucking out the gases which is liberated by the liquid metal. So dissolved gases are liberated to the surface, and from the surface this vacuum pump, it is continuously sucking out the gases released. Okay, this is what happening during the static bath treatment or static bath degassing. Why it is called static bath means this liquid metal is stable without any dynamic motion. There is no dynamic motion of the liquid metal. Only we are supplying the inert gas. We are not doing anything else to the liquid metal. Okay, that is why it is called a static bath treatment or static bath degassing. Hope all of you understood this concept. If anything is there, you can discuss. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can discuss with me now. Anything would you like to discuss in this topic, in this?
No, nothing, no doubt.
Okay, some students background noise is coming. Okay, Harsha, anything?
No.
You have understood this? What is flushing? What is vacuum degassing? Vacuum degassing by static method only. We have discussed it now. So now let us go to the next method of vacuum degassing. This is static bath degassing. Induction degassing. Now we are going to study about induction degassing. This is also vacuum only. Okay, vacuum induction degassing, that you should remember. So now you can see this diagram. Same thing here also, vacuum chamber is maintained. This is the vacuum chamber. This entire outer chamber is the vacuum chamber. The purpose of the outer casing or outer chamber is to maintain vacuum within the chamber. I would like to ask a question now. What is vacuum? Manoj S. Patil, please unmute your mic and answer this question. What is a vacuum? Manoj Patil, vacuum andre ಏನಪ್ಪ?
Sir, removing air from inside the chambers.
Removing air from inside the chamber. Muhammad Adnan.
Yes, sir.
ಏನಪ್ಪ vacuum andre?
It is a region where no air exists, sir.
Region where no air exists. Okay. Parameshwar Aradhya. Aradhya, ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೇನಪ್ಪ?
Yes, sir.
Tell me now whether both they said some answer. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
You remember what they told?
Yes, sir.
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅವರು?
Vacuum. ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಲ್ಲ what answer they gave for vacuum? They gave some answer both ಅದ್ನಾನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವನು ಮನೋಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್. What is that answer correct ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀನು yes ಅಂದೆ. What answer they gave?
Air won't be inside.
Yeah, absence of air, air removed. Okay, ಕಾರ್ತಿಕೇಯ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು?
Yes, sir. Vacuum is a space where there is no matter, not only air, there will be no matter inside, and which will be having low pressure.
Which will be having no pressure.
Low pressure. Yes, sir.
Okay. Atmospheric, wherever atmospheric air is present, in such cases atmospheric pressure will be acting. Correct, no? 1.03 bar is there now. That pressure will always be acting if air is present. So air is removed means that pressure becomes zero. Even if you create some more suction, pressure will go negative, isn't it? So that type of situation is created here. Vacuum is created. That is why in order to create the vacuum, this chamber is provided, outer chamber. Inside container also provided. Inside this is crucible. This is also there. This was also there in the previous case. Here also vacuum chamber is there and inside crucible is there. Everything remains same. But what is the difference between this vacuum first static bath degassing and induction degassing? What is the difference? That we have to understand. Here there is an induction principle used. Induction principle already we have studied in this chapter itself. Induction furnace, you remember? Induction furnace, you remember? This almost the furnace is maintained within the chamber itself, vacuum chamber. Vacuum chamber itself or the furnace itself is inside the vacuum chamber. See now the induction coils you can see. Induction coil you can see, and this is the crucible. For small capacity furnaces, this can be used. So now what is happening? Due to induction means, already I have explained in the previous class, induction nothing but induction of the current, the primary circuit and secondary circuit you might have learned in the transformers. Okay, so there primary circuit is one and secondary circuit will be there, core will be there, so that induction of that current takes place. Here the secondary circuit itself, secondary element itself, this metal. So this is the primary circuit or primary coil. Where is the secondary? Secondary itself is this liquid metal. So because of that, induction of current takes place between this liquid metal from the primary coil. Because of that, what is happening? Stirring action takes place. Stirring action of the liquid metal takes place. What do you mean by stirring action? Stirring nothing but rotation, moving, toppling. The top surface element, top contents at the top will become, will come to the bottom, and then bottom substance will go to the top. Like that, the circulation takes place. You can see the circulation. Rotation of this liquid metal takes place due to induction principle or induction effect. Due to induction effect, the rotation of the liquid metal takes place. Because of this, turbulence is created within the liquid metal. Turbulence will be created within the liquid metal. So because of that, all the dissolved gases will reach the surface. All the dissolved gas will reach the surface. Entire action of this taking place within the vacuum chamber, so that there is a vacuum pump. You can see vacuum pump, just like previous case. This vacuum pump continuously draws out or suck out the gases which is released from the liquid metal. Dissolved gases will be released at the surface. So that released gas will be sucked out or pumped out using a vacuum pump. Every concept is same as before, but only difference is the induction coil is used here, so that due to induction effect, the circulation of the liquid metal takes place. Because of that circulation, it is not static. In the previous case, it was static. Here it is not static. Because of that, the releasing of the gas takes place at the surface of the liquid metal, and that gas released will be continuously pumped out by using a vacuum pump. That is the difference. Very pure metal we will get without any gas dissolved in the liquid metal. So that type purity we will get by using these vacuum principles. Otherwise it is not possible. Okay, more purity, more strength where you need, that time we have to go these type of sophisticated systems. Okay, this is vacuum induction degassing. All are vacuum degassing only. Vacuum induction degassing. See, the same thing explained here. Whatever I explained till now, everything is explained in terms of paragraph or bullets. Okay. Molten metal is transformed from melting unit into the crucible. The current flowing through the coils create a magnetic field that induces eddy currents and circular electric currents, producing a stirring action. That's what I told. Circulating stirring action, rotation takes place within the liquid metal. The bath agitation means rotation, movement, etc. The bath means liquid metal. The liquid metal agitation which takes place at normal frequency is just sufficient for hydrogen gas removal from the liquid metal to take place. The effect of removing dissolved gas is enhanced to greater extent in the presence of vacuum atmosphere. So vacuum is there, it creates good, it gives us good metal, pure metal. Vacuum induction process is more efficient, except cost of the furnace being a major drawback, because entire furnace is maintained within the vacuum chamber. Therefore, cost of maintaining that is very, very high. So therefore, foundries operating with induction furnace have the advantage, since all the operations like melting metal under vacuum, refining, degassing, heating, alloying, etc. takes place within the furnace itself. So everything is taking place within the vacuum chamber. So the quality of the product what we are getting is very good. The process is relatively flexible, featuring the independent control of the time, temperature, pressure. Time can be controlled, temperature can be controlled, pressure can be controlled, everything can be easily controlled. But the major problem here is the cost. Okay, because we need to build very big vacuum chamber and continuously monitoring, continuously maintaining vacuum within that chamber. It is very difficult nothing but very expensive. Okay, that is about the induction degassing. Next type of degassing technique is stream droplet degassing. Stream droplet degassing. Stream droplet degassing. What is that stream droplet? You can see just by looking at this diagram, you can understand what is stream, what is droplet degassing. Stream droplet degassing, just by looking at this diagram, you can understand what is stream, what is droplet. Okay, without explanation, also you can understand this diagram by using this diagram. See, at the one chamber is provided. This is also vacuum degassing only. This is also vacuum degassing only. You can see the vacuum chamber. This is same design, same vacuum chamber you can see. What we have used in the previous case. Same vacuum chamber is used here. Okay, this is the vacuum chamber. Next, what? In first case, we have supplied the inert gas, okay, from the bottom, so that all the gases released. Second case, we have used the circulation current, that is induction principle we have used. In the third case, we are using the droplet principle, stream droplet principle. What is that? What is doing means, the vacuum chamber you can see here, and bottom of the vacuum chamber you can see inside there is a ladle placed. There is a ladle placed here. Ladle means the element, the system what we are using for carrying the liquid metal to the mold cavity. That is called as ladle. So that ladle is kept at the bottom of the chamber, vacuum chamber. Then above that you can see the liquid metal container. Liquid metal container. Here bottom pour ladle. This is called as the bottom pour ladle. Okay. So now there is a hole or there is a provision for pouring the liquid metal at the bottom with high pressure. So now what is happening, as the liquid metal is dropping from this upper chamber. So this is the bottom pour ladle. From this ladle, liquid metal drops to the bottom ladle. This is the upper ladle, this is the bottom ladle. From this ladle, the liquid metal drops in the form of stream. That is why it is called a stream droplet. Why it is called stream droplet means this stream of the liquid metal drops in the form of droplets. So therefore stream droplet. During that time, see, the vacuum is created. There is a pump, vacuum pump, it is continuously working. So it is continuously extracting the air or any type of gas which is available within this chamber. So as the liquid metal drops continuously in the form of tiny droplets or small droplets, then the gases dissolved in the liquid metal will be liberated. Those liberated gases will be continuously pumped out by using the vacuum pump. That's all explanation. Okay. So there is a vacuum chamber, there is a ladle at the bottom, and there is a bottom pour ladle, and liquid metal is continuously fed into this. Continuously the liquid metal from the furnace, there will be outside furnace. From furnace, liquid metal will be continuously fed into this furnace, this ladle, and so from the bottom of this ladle, liquid metal continuously drops, so that from this the dissolved gases are released. Those gases will be sucked out by means of or by using the vacuum pump. So this is how the operation is taking place, or degasification process is taking place. Okay, this is also vacuum system only. Next is fractional degassing. This is also vacuum degassing only, once again, but that type is fractional degassing. One more method. What is happening here? Fractional degassing means, you should understand what is the meaning of fraction. Can anybody tell me what is fraction? Just by looking at this diagram, can anybody explain? Option is open to you. Anybody can come forward. I will not explain. Just look at the diagram. Look at the title of the process, fractional degassing. Now you can give the explanation. by both looking at the diagram and the title. Fractional degassing. Can anybody come forward and to explain this? Any one of you, I will not call by name. You can try to explain. It is very simple.
Sorry, in this process,
Help.
the organ gas, example, the organ gas will be
starting in the
right,
one ನಿಮಿಷ starting in the ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
fractional degassing is nothing but removing the gas from the chamber, vacuum chamber. Fractionally means gradually removing the gas from the chamber, sir.
Gradually, fraction by fraction. It is not continuously from the considering the whole mass. In the previous cases, ಇನ್ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರೇನಪ್ಪ? In this case, induction degassing and static bath degassing. In these two cases, what is happening? Entire liquid mass, liquid metal mass, the entire mass of the liquid or entire quantity of liquid is trying to degas at a time. Trying to degas at a time. So here entire liquid is taken into consideration here. And also in this case also, induction case also, entire liquid metal what is available in the furnace or available in the crucible, we are trying to degasify at a time, isn't it? But here in the next case, this one, stream droplet, this is also one type of fractional only, because liquid metal is here, fraction by fraction, drop by drop, we are removing the gas. This one. Here also, it is said that fractional degassing. It means that entire liquid metal, we are not trying to degasify at a time. So, slowly, stage by stage, part by part, we are degasifying. So, what is it means? Now you could look at this diagram. This is the liquid metal storage ladle. This is the ladle. These are the handles to hold the ladle. See now, this is the liquid metal contained in the ladle. So this is the vacuum chamber. This portion is the upper portion is the vacuum chamber, which is kept in an inverted position. You can see now. See here, to vacuum pump, there is a vacuum pump here, and there is supply of provision to supply argon gas here. Provision to supply argon gas, inert gas is supplied through this port. And this is a bottle type of, inverted bottle type of arrangement. And so what happens when this chamber or inert, vacuum chamber is made to insert into the liquid metal here in this way, and a vacuum pump is operated or connected to vacuum pump, then a negative pressure is created in this area because no air is present. When the vacuum pump is switched on, so it draws out all the air particles which is present here. Nothing will be there, no atmosphere will be there here. Then obviously the pressure goes to negative side. Atmospheric pressure is not there means it goes to negative side. When the pressure in this area, in this region, drops below atmospheric pressure, this is very important. When the pressure in this area drops below atmospheric pressure, then what happens? The liquid metal from this ladle rises into this area, into this region. Isn't it? Into this region, it automatically rises. Why? Means pressure here it is higher. In this region, the pressure is less than atmospheric pressure. Here, the pressure is atmospheric pressure. Here, the pressure is less than atmospheric pressure. So, therefore, the liquid metal rises into the vacuum chamber. Okay. That time, this inert gas is supplied through this port, so that it is flowing like this. The inert gas, it flows Then what happens? It comes to this portion. This vacuum pump is continuously drawing or sucking out. So therefore, as the inert gas comes in contact with the liquid metal, it produces the bubbles as it was producing during earlier case. So therefore, all this liquid metal, it releases the gas which is already dissolved in it, and then that will be sucked out through this vacuum pump. This is what it is done slowly, and the purified metal or degasified metal, again it enters this ladle. See, the fresh metal enters into this chamber, degasified metal enters back to the ladle. Like this, it is continuing fraction by fraction, continuously, slowly it is taking place. So therefore, it is called as fractional degassing. Okay. So like that, until all the dissolved gas is completely removed. So till then, this process will be continued. So like that, this is the fractional degassing technique. Any question, any doubts, you can ask an degasification process. This is the explanation, whatever I have given here. The molten metal to be tapped in the ladle is progressively degassed. See here, it is progressively degassed. It means that progressively means not at a time. It is progressively degassed. It means that slowly, progressively, step by step. It is progressively degassed by treatment of fractions of the metal in a separate pump metal vacuum vessel. Okay. The system makes use of two tubes connected at the bottom of the vacuum chamber that you have seen at the bottom of the vacuum chamber, with one of the tubes argon connected to a pipe supplying argon gas through its refractory lining. Both the tubes are immersed in a ladle containing molten metal. When such an arrangement, the liquid metal flows up into the vacuum chamber under the influence of inert gas bubbles blood. Inert gas bubbles blood into the base of the tube. The molten metal flows down back to the ladle, producing continuous circulation of the melt nothing but liquid metal, and resulting in the removal of gases. This is what I explained till now. This is about the degasification process and degasification techniques or methods which are available